Hello and welcome to a Business Minute with Lily Lopez, presented by the South Florida Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. I'm here with Jacob Giron, a very young student from FIU who just interviewed me also for his podcast. And I was very, very amazed and very, at the same time, I was very honored that a young man like you wanted to interview me. And
no, I'm honored for your time. You give me your time. I'm honored for your time.
Please, so. It's my pleasure. And so I was very impressed by the way you communicate to people and everything that you do, and you're such a young man. He's only 18 years old, so imagine that. And I could picture myself back when I was 19 that I used to be a talker too, and I would have the same type of personality, so you have a great future ahead of you. So I wish you the best. So tell me, you're an FIU student, you're studying accounting, you have your marketing company already at a young age, so you're an entrepreneur.
Yes.
And that's what we like in the Hispanic Chamber.
We do like that.
Entrepreneurs. So what made you do all of this? Where did that come from?
It all started young because I think what it is that it's little things compounded over time. So it started when I was like 13, 14. I was like, you know what, it was just that curiosity of how can I make money? Like, how can I make money? I want to make money. How can I make money? So like, I'll do people's homework. And then boom, they paid me. And then that's how it started. It started like that when I was in 6th grade, 7th grade, did that. And then it led to another thing. And then shoes, and then this. And then I was like, okay, now I want to do something that scalable, do something that I have meaning for it. Something that is not just monetary and thinking, oh, how do I make the most amount of money? How do I get to 20K a month? But it's like, how can I actually provide the most value that I can? And then obviously get compensated for that, because I think that's how business works. You give value,
of course,
you get compensated for that. And then it was just, I think just the curiosity of, I want to build something meaningful and actually be somebody that in 20 years down the road, I'm proud that I became. And then also like a good inspiration to other people that were younger.
Other people your age.
Exactly.
And what are you studying now at FIU?
Right now, accounting.
That's good, because if you're an entrepreneur, you need to know your finances.
You need to know the numbers. Exactly.
You need to know your numbers, because that's key.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it speaks very highly of you, because not only are you're a communicator, but you're also into math.
Yeah.
And that's important. The sciences.
It's important.
That's very important, because you have your business. You need to know your thing.
Exactly.
So and what is your objective? Eventually, you want to grow more your podcast. How many followers? How many viewers do you have?
So right now, probably across all platforms, probably 5,000, 6,000 followers across all platforms. We started 6 months ago. Really, the objective with that, is interviewing CEOs amongst every industry, leaders amongst every industry, athletes, like a lot of prominent people that I know over the course of, like, I set myself up. I'm not going to be like short-term focused, like, oh, let me get rushed to like 100,000 followers in like 6 months. Like, I'm very patient with it, because I see like the long-term vision of it. I know that what I want is for people that are in high school, man, I want to learn from somebody because there's a disconnect. That's what I realized. I realized the problem. There's a disconnect between CEOs and then kids. Like, we don't know how to get there.
Exactly.
It's just like, how do you become a CEO? So that's where the curiosity sprang. And that's where I set up like that goal of like, hey, I'm just going to dedicate myself to this to X amount of years. And the objective is interviewing prominent leaders, interviewing people like yourself, interviewing athletes, people that have success. And over a long period of time, the message, the mission will start to make sense, and people will resonate with that. And I think that's like...
That's very important.
I think it is.
An entrepreneur, a communicator, and CEOs, you could be a CEO even of your own company, which would be even more important, right?
Exactly.
To have your own, be an entrepreneur, have your own business, where you can make more money, and at the same time you can employ people and have people work for you, and at the same time be a mentor.
Exactly.
Because that's what I've done too. I'd like to be a mentor to younger people, because that's the only way that society will continue to have.
We're the next generation. We're the next generation.
So if nobody has a mentor, it's so important to mentor. So you'll be a mentor too. Like I could be a mentor to you.
Exactly, and I'm honored. Like I always constantly, and I think the most important thing is being a sponge when you're young, but also being a filter. So you have to be a sponge and a filter. Like, I can't take advice from everybody and just apply it to my life, because everybody has a different way of getting to their version of success, which is 100% fine.
That is absolutely right.
But at the same time, you still want to take a piece, and and I always say that every podcast. This is a place where you could take a piece of everybody's success and apply it to your own, because not one person's success is the way that you should do it. Probably have a different way of going about it, but at least if you have the tools equipped to achieve your success, you'll carve out your own path, taking from different people, and I think that's the most important.
That's important, and also to avoid like controversy, even though I'm different. I mean,
You
I'm
like controversy.
I like
You like
controversy.
controversy.
Because
Yeah,
in
yeah.
my position as a CEO of the South Florida Hispanic Chamber, always
have to like
protecting
it.
the interests of the Hispanic
course.
community, it's a little bit controversial.
Yeah.
It always is. But in reality, when you're out there, you have to read a lot and see how relationships, like I'm controversial with people who I know in companies that I see that are not really focused on the importance of the Hispanic market. But with all the members and all the people, I'm not controversial.
Exactly.
You get along and you love people and all of that, but you always have to be on the lookout,
Exactly.
right, for opportunities and to see what's happening, who's supporting, who's not supporting. But there's a book by Dale Carnegie that says Cómo ganar amigos,
How to
influir
win
la
in-
persona.
Yeah, I read that.
Did you
yeah,
read that?
Yeah, of
I
course,
read that when
yeah,
I was
it's
very
amazing.
young,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's amazing because it tells you, and it's key. Like you have to get along with everybody, how to influence people, and at the same time you got to be tough too.
And I think that the main message from that, and I constantly think about that, is that realistically people like talking about themselves. That's the
Of
truth.
course, you gotta let them
people
talk,
like.
yeah.
So the way you go about that is realizing people's interests, what they like,
And what they like.
and
And win them over, and win them over,
And that's the whole
exactly.
thing. And another thing about that book that I really took from it is you can't see things as like transactional. I can't say, hold up, I just want to get in a relationship with you because I know you can put me in contact with the
No,
next
that's
person.
because people will know that you're
Pe-
using them.
People
Yeah.
know.
People
And
know
people
that
don't
you're
like
using them,
that.
and they
So
resent
there's a trick to it, and I think there's a way that you can harmonize it, and that's the trick of like
That's the trick.
getting in relationships and not just network, like getting in relationships with people, actually being somebody that people like, and not just like, yeah, that guy's around me because he just wants to know. He knows that
And
you know him.
And you know that too. I know very well who
Exactly.
wants to like maybe sort of use you.
Yeah.
And then just take
Yeah.
advantage, not really. But
Yeah.
you know what? It's part of life.
Exactly.
It's part of
It
life,
is.
and you
It
take it with
is
a grain of
100%.
salt, and you do what you have to do. But there's always a lot of good people, and there's more good than bad. And that's the important thing in life, right? There's
It
more
is.
good people.
You have to believe it though. A lot of
Really.
people believe that there's more bad people than good people.
No, there's more
You have to
good
believe
people.
there's more
exactly,
good people.
Exactly. There's always
Yeah.
more good people, and there's a lot of people that are out there always helping you. And I've seen that in my case too. A lot of people have
I've seen that
mentored
too.
me and helped me.
People
So
give
that's
me
a
their
good-
time.
Exactly.
Like, I'm still young. A lot of people look at me. I sent a letter to the CEO of Burger King, and they said no, which is okay.
Okay.
A no is just a wall to
That's
a yes.
good.
A no
Yes.
will
Listen to us.
But
He needs to communicate with
But-
Burger King CEO.
but I think that's 100% normal. Not everybody's
But
going to
it's
give you the
fine. Not
opportunity.
everybody say
It's
yes
life.
to a young man,
Exactly.
but other people will see it and will say yes.
We'll respect it. And I
Yes.
think that's the thing.
Like I said yes to be on your show.
Exactly.
And I very much like you, and I respect you and admire you.
I respect
And
you.
it was
Thank
so
you.
good.
Thank you very much.
So
Thank
good
you
to
very
have you
much.
on a Business Minute with Lily Lopez.
Thank you. Thank
This
you.
is a young professional that we'd love to mentor too. And I'll see you all next week. See you for another episode of A Business Minute with Lily Lopez. Bye.